Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because today's video is a podcast. So usually I have a podcast called Small Biz Coffee that I only post on all the podcast platforms, but I decided to kind of do this one in video form because I think this is such a great topic to cover, and hopefully by doing it in video and podcast I can reach more people. So this is going to be a longer video. If you do want to just listen to the podcast while you're driving or whatever, I'll put the link to the audio to the podcast down below. But today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how I made six figures in 2020, giving you guys like all the details on like my business strategies, why I do certain things, why I don't do certain things. I'm still really shocked. I think like there's so much more to come for Winding Wick Candles and just like the teaching part of the business, and I'm just like really excited to tell you guys. Also, if you really don't want to sit through this whole thing I know you're probably curious about like how much money I made in each little revenue stream, so I'm going to put timestamps down below if you just want to like jump to the revenue stream and then know the income if you don't have time to listen. But I will be giving you a lot of advice, a lot of experience throughout like the podcast. But anyways, I am going to break down like my income streams and then kind of elaborate on each one. But I have to sip my coffee first because this is Small Business Coffee. So I asked you guys on Instagram. This is kind of how it all started. I was really hesitant to post about this topic, and I even I remember making a TikTok on New Year's Day about like one of my biggest accomplishments, and it was bringing in six figures of revenue in my business, and then I deleted it. But I figured a lot of you guys wanted to hear this, and I think it will be helpful when I give you guys some like advice and actionable steps on how you can grow your business. So I'm actually really excited about this. But anyways, without further ado, also I launched tianacoates.com, so that is up to you. It's going to be like a landing page for pretty much me, and then like my courses, and also candle makers can come here. There's a section where it has like tools that I use. I'm probably going to elaborate more on that section, maybe elaborating more on what kind of waxes or whatever I use. And let's see what else. There's a recommended reading section, and there's going to be a whole bunch of fun stuff over there. So tianacoates.com is now up and running. But anyways, let's start off with the income streams, you guys. So I wanted to start this off with the YouTube income stream because I think YouTube is like the base of everything. YouTube is kind of where I started to get the ball rolling, right? So YouTube income for 2020 was $9,297. So YouTube is a very tricky little platform, right? When I first started my channel, it was late 2018 when I decided, like, before I even started Winding Wick Candles, I made a channel and I was like, this is what I'm going to do. This is my goal. I want to document my business journey. That was my goal with my channel. But as I started to like grow the channel, and then when I wanted to be serious about growing the channel, what I did was I started looking at all these different like YouTube videos of like how to grow your business or how to grow your YouTube channel, how to get more viewers, subscribers. And a lot of the advice on there was pretty similar, saying that you need to make some type of searchable content. Your content needs to be kind of evergreen and all this stuff. So I started listening to the tutorials, right? And pretty much it was like almost suggesting you need to make kind of tutorial type videos. Tutorials do really well. So I started making tutorials for like candles. Now, mind you, I had been making candles since 2015. If you guys didn't know, in 2015 to 2016, I actually had a candle business called Winding Wick Candle Co. And that failed, I guess. I closed everything. I closed all the accounts for that. Well, I closed like legally with the IRS. So when I decided to open back up in 2018, I called it Winding Wick Candles so it wouldn't get confused with Winding Wick Candle Co. when it came to like taxes or anything like that. But yeah, so I had already been making candles since 2015. So I said, I can make some tutorial videos, like that will work. So I started making tutorials, and I got into that for a bit, and then I downloaded this Chrome extension called TubeBuddy, and TubeBuddy is pretty much like SEO for YouTube. So what you can do with TubeBuddy is you can go in and actually install the extension, and then when you type into YouTube, YouTube will tell you, so the extension will tell you if the video is going to do well or not before you even make the video. So this is how I used to make all of my videos in the beginning. I would do research before I even filmed the video. So there was a video that I had an idea for, and I was like, oh, how to start a candle business from home. I really, at this time, I think it was like 2018? It was either it had been 2018. And it was like how to start a candle business from home. And nobody had videos like that. And at the time, there wasn't very many candle people at all. So like a lot of the candle videos now have exploded, but back then there wasn't. So there was more opportunity, to get my video seen. A lot of people were searching for this topic, but there really wasn't a video out there that explained like how I started a candle business, because I had already been there, done that. So I had a lot of, experience to give. And I made the video, and I knew that when I made this video, it was going to do really well due to the research. So I decided I need a lead magnet, and I need to make this video really valuable so that people, stick through it, and then they download my lead magnet. So my lead magnet was the PDF. And then I was able to get like a whole bunch of email subscribers. Now I had no idea I had no idea what I was going to do with these email subscribers. I just knew that this video was going to do so well that I needed to somehow capture this audience, because of course with YouTube, with any social media platform, that audience is not yours. It's it's YouTube's, and YouTube could fall off, or you could fall off the algorithm. So I wanted to really take advantage of that video opportunity. So I got all the emails, and I think to this day I have collected over 15,000 emails just by kind of collecting emails over the years. So it did really well. The video actually did really well, and I think it might be my most viewed video on my channel. I don't look at that anymore, but it might be. So I'll put the video here just to see if it really is. I don't know. But anyway, so I kept replicating that over and over. I was like, tutorials are where it's at. That's how I'm getting my views. So I would do more tutorials, how to start a candle business, how to write Etsy descriptions. I think I did one, how to edit. Did I do a photo one? I just started kind of doing that, right? And then the channel grew. And all this time I wasn't sure if this is where I wanted to go with my YouTube channel. I was just kind of in the motions, doing what I thought I was supposed to do. But I knew in the back of my head, I really started this channel because I wanted to document my business journey. I really liked studio vlogs, and some of the earlier vloggers that I liked were Catnip Illustrations. She does, a lot of you probably watch her, but she does like her sticker business, her little business, her illustration business. I like Furry Little Peach. She's an illustrator, and those type of vlogs I always have such a good feeling watching them. I love watching their creation process, how their business is doing, the ups and the downs, and that's what I really enjoyed. So by the end of 2019, I really decided I want to do more studio vlogs more. I had already been doing the candle videos since late 2018 to kind of all through 2019. And I said, I really want to do the vlogs. And by this time I knew, because I had been familiar with like the keyword research, I knew when I did the vlogs that my channel was going to grow less. It wasn't going to get many views, and I wasn't going to get much, the money was going to go down, the revenue. But I really thought about it, and I was like, man, I don't know. It just didn't feel like me to just like be pumping out a tutorial video every week, like how to do this, it just didn't feel like me, because I really like getting creative with my videos, and I still like talking about business. That was the whole reason I started Small Biz & Coffee, was to give me like an outlet to actually talk long-winded about business, because I really do like the business part of it. But YouTube was always meant to be like a creative outlet for me, and then show you guys the behind the scenes of the channel. So I decided to just start doing more studio vlogs and not worrying so much about views and subscribers and all that stuff. I figured I'm gonna make the content I want to make on a consistent basis. If people like it, they'll watch it. that's my YouTube strategy. So that's what I've kind of been doing. Pretty much a lot of 2020 has really been that. And when I do sit down, like videos where I talk, it's just a topic I really want to talk about. It's not something that I'm doing just because I have to do it or anything like that. But I decided to kind of make that decision early on for my channel because I knew if I grew my subscriber base like really big and I was just doing like these tutorial videos, I would eventually burn out. And I have seen other like YouTubers go through the same thing. Recently, there's a YouTuber that I have been watching for a long time, and her name is Sunny Lenarduzzi, and a lot of you probably know her, but she's like a YouTube, she did like YouTube tutorials. That's kind of the person that I looked at for tutorials, and she has a channel of like 500,000 subscribers, and she made a video where she's like, I'm not doing this anymore. So she totally pivoted her channel at 500K, and she does not get the views that she used to, and she's totally okay with that. She's like, I do not care. This is what I want to make, and it's still valuable. Like, and it's funny because I find myself watching her videos more than I did before. So before, she would post tutorial videos like how to get 1,000 subscribers, how to increase your ad revenue, stuff like that. And I would look at the title and I'd be like, oh, okay, I don't need to watch this one today, or yeah, that's interesting. So I wouldn't click on every one of her videos. But now that she's kind of pivoted her channel, I click on every one of her videos that she puts out. So it just feels like more personal. It feels like more authentic content. So even though it doesn't get the views and then, you know, I guess the vanity metrics that a lot of us think we should be getting, I think it's more rewarding for me, because, you know, that's just what I want to do. Now, if you are thinking of doing a channel and you want to make tutorials, like that is your passion, then go for it. But I would say if you are starting a channel, really think about what your passion is and why you're getting into it, because definitely burnout is a serious thing, especially when you're making YouTube videos, because it is very easy to get wrapped up in the views and always thinking that you have to do better and better. It's like a constant competition with yourself. And another person I look up to a lot is Michelle Phan, and she doesn't even do YouTube anymore. She does it when she wants to. Y'all, if you are someone who wants like business advice, or if you want to look up to like an entrepreneur, she is amazing. She has built like multiple multiple millions of, like, her businesses generate multiple millions of dollars, and she started on YouTube, and she just strategically grew her businesses to where she's not really having to post on YouTube, but she just gets on here every once in a while when she wants to. I enjoy posting here, but I definitely want to get in the mindset to not get wrapped up in the views and everything like that, and actually just enjoy what I'm posting. So I really like that decision, and it definitely was a shock at first, because when I would log into YouTube on the back end, if any of you have a channel, you know that when your video doesn't perform as good as your previous video, YouTube lets you know that. They'll give you like some red down arrows. It'll tell you your audience isn't liking this video like your usual videos, or something like that. So I kind of had to block all of that out and not look at the analytics too much. So I don't know, I like it, you guys, and that's my YouTube strategy going forward. I'm gonna post what I intended to, you know, post on this channel, and I am so much happier now that I made that decision. So YouTube income, $9,297. Now we're gonna move on to Candle Biz Academy income, and I'm actually gonna pull up my screenshot and I'll put it on the screen too. So with Candle Biz Academy stems again from YouTube and that email list. But just to let you guys know, I launched Candle Biz Academy in 2020. So Candle Biz Academy made $70,727 in 2020. In December alone, it made $40,000 in 10 days. Let me explain Candle Biz Academy, and let me explain how I came to create this and just the whole backstory behind this, because it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I don't know, I think let me just explain. Okay, so back when I was making those tutorial videos on YouTube, I started to notice a problem within the people wanting to learn about how to start a candle business. So I do enjoy helping people, even though I don't really make tutorial videos on my channel. I still like telling you guys and helping you guys. So when I was making those videos, I noticed that I was still getting a lot of comments of, questions and emails, people needing more information, because of course, if you are presenting videos as if you were teaching a class, if they're tutorials, people are going to have questions. So imagine if you're teaching a math class, right? And then of course people are going to be like, how did you get that answer? How did you get from A to B and stuff like that? And so that's kind of the stuff I was getting, like how do I troubleshoot my Wix? How do I get an LLC? All that type of stuff. And I was like, wow, I was spending a lot of time in my emails, answering emails, all the emails that I could possibly answer. So it just seems like there wasn't a good resource out there to help people start a candle business. So I started to do more market research, and then I noticed that there wasn't a program that was an online course where people could do self-paced learning to learn how to start their candle business. Now, there's a lot of courses that teach you how to start an Etsy business or more generalized thing, but it wasn't ever niched down to how to start a candle business, right? Because there's a whole lot more from what I've learned. Like, when it comes to starting a candle business, candle SEO research specifically. So I know I've taken Etsy courses before, so they teach you how to do SEO, but it's very broad because they're tailoring to people who have sticker shops, people who sell shirts, bookmarks. So they'll tell you, okay, this is the SEO, but then I still had to figure out how to tailor it to candles, right? So I figured, let me do a tailored, course for candles. So then there is less guesswork, because you can literally just go off of my experiences and then make your own decisions on if how you're going to do stuff. So I was like, man, there's nothing out here like this, but I have no idea how to create an online course at all, how to shoot these videos, how to structure it. But I feel like there was a big gap in the market here, a huge gap in the market, because no one else was doing it. I saw one other person who had a candle business course, but there was no sales page. It was literally like, I'm sorry, they're doing lawn work today, the day I want to record this, sorry. I saw one other person and she had the candle business thing, but no sales page. So I had no idea what was in the course or how her course was structured, but that was the only other one I saw. So I'm like, okay, I feel like, I have the email list. So remember, I had the email list that I had no idea what I was going to do with it. Let me go ahead and utilize this email list, and then I can, I have the audience, to do this and just to kind of validate if this is a good idea or not. But like I said, I had no idea how to make this course. I went ahead and did some research on how I could learn how to make an online course, and I bought a course to teach me how to make a course, and the course was $2,000. So that was a big investment for me, because for 4 years, while I was kind of dabbling in business here and there, I was still working part-time as a pharmacy technician. So I was working my part-time job. I really didn't have a ton of disposable income. I was still building my businesses. So $2,000 was a lot of money, but I said, you know what, let's go ahead and just test it out to see if people will even like a course like this, So I paid the $2,000 and I learned how to make a course, and I'm so glad I did that, because there was so much stuff I didn't even know I had to do, or I would have never thought about. So it really, really helped me learn exactly, the platform I need to use, the email sequences, everything. I learned how to do everything. So after going through that online course, learning what I needed to do, I started to implement the steps. And one step I needed to kind of figure out first was I needed to validate the course, right? Before I even made a single module, I needed to validate to see if people were even going to buy it, because a course is very labor intensive on the front. On the front end, you have to do a lot, but then as you get everything together, it's a lot easier to launch your course over and over, but it's a lot of work in the beginning. So I used to go to this co-working space, and I scheduled a webinar. I had my little email list. I said, hey, we're going to do, a little 1 hour webinar where I'll tell you more about Candle Biz Academy. And of course, at this time I had no modules out, but I was very transparent about when it's going to launch, how it's going to drip out the modules. I wasn't being shady or anything. So I made it very aware that the course was going to come out in, over a period of time. So I talked about the course, and then I talked about what the modules were going to be about, the concept and everything. And then by the time that hour and a half webinar was done, I had about $1,000 in my Stripe account just from my idea. So I was like, whoa, I've never had that happen before. Just $1,000 in an hour. Okay. So I went ahead and I reinvested that money into video equipment, microphones, more candle supplies so I can do all the demos. And also I have to pay for my growing email list, right? So I think now I have about 15,000 people on my email list, and that costs me $150 a month just to have that many people on my email list just sitting there. So that costs $150 a month. And then also my platform that I use to host the course what does it cost? $150 a month also. So just to kind of have this course together, it costs $300 a month, which sounds like a lot, but when you look at how low the overhead is, it's pretty good profit margin. So yeah, I invested the money and I started launching the course step by, like I would do one module a week until the course was completed, so that I wasn't really stressing myself out trying to do a whole bunch at once. I would release a module, once a week. And then, so the first run of that course made $10,000, which I thought was, wow, that's a success. That did really, really good. And then, of course, I went back and tweaked some stuff. I asked the people in the course, I was like, do you want a community? What do you guys think? They wanted a community, and I built one, like, it's in the course. It's not like a Facebook community or anything. It's an option. In the platform that I use, you can have like a community. So we did that, and it's actually done really well. I love that we have a community. It's so helpful. So I kind of modified some things, and then I launched again. So the second run of the course, I think I had the cart open for 10 days. It did $20,000 in 10 days. And then the third run of the course, 10-day cart open, and that was in December 2020. It did $40,000 in 10 days. So that's how the course made $70,000 this year. And going back to like doing the tutorial things on YouTube, I'm really glad I made this pivot, because I would have never been able to make that amount of money if I would have put everything out on YouTube. And I also think that like when people do pay for something, it has a little bit more value, so people are more likely to kind of take it serious and actually implement the steps because you paid for it. I know if I pay for a $2,000 course, I'm going to watch it and I'm going to learn everything. So I think it does hold a bit more value, and I do see students like they actually like do really good. Some of my very first students are like wholesaling. They are making great sales, and I'm just like, it just makes me so happy that I went through with this, even though it was a lot of hard work doing everything by myself. It was very, very stressful, but I learned so much about business in general and just like different aspects of business. So I'm really glad I did Candle Biz Academy, and I would love to just expand this even more. And that's the whole point of TianaCoates.com also, because, that's going to be just more free content for like free learning. And I don't know, I just see so much potential with this. But anyway, thank you whoever has ever joined Candle Biz Academy, and it has helped to, like, with that income I'm able to hire people. So that is how I pay Sierra, that is how I pay my brother, and also I'm looking to do Facebook ads. So I have actually paid like to have a creator. She's actually doing it now. She's going to make a Facebook ad video unboxing, and then I can pay for Facebook ads, which can get really pricey, but they can pay off when you do get your ad formula down. So Facebook ads is something we're looking into. So the revenue from Candle Biz Academy is just a great way for me to kind of expand the business and not have to worry about money so much, So this leads me into, let's talk about, sponsorships. So YouTube sponsorships. YouTube sponsorships did pretty good too. That was $1,600 this year. And I noticed like more sponsors did start reaching out to me when I started doing more vlog style videos. So I don't know if sponsors are looking for vlog style videos, if that's like a tip, you want to look into. But once I switched to more vlog content, a lot more sponsors reached out. So I did work with some sponsors. I didn't work with everybody that reached out, but I think $1,600, that's pretty great. And usually sponsors want like a 60-second or 90-second spot in the video. So it was, I don't know, it was fun building a relationship with different sponsors this year. So I was glad to do that. Now let's get into the candle income. So the candle income for 2020 was $20,225. And this was me being closed in December. So in December, I really was so kind of burned out. And I was like, I had just launched Candle Biz Academy. And I'm like, dude, I cannot do it, because November, what was it? Black Friday went kind of crazy. And then a couple videos did really well on TikTok, and so I got really busy. And at this time I had not hired Sierra yet, so I was doing everything by myself. Plus I just launched Candle Biz Academy, and I'm like, let me tap out for a little bit, because it got really busy. I just needed the time to kind of rethink everything. So I think the candle income could have done so much better. Problems that I ran into this year was Amazon. I could not keep Amazon in stock like I wanted to. The goal is to keep Amazon flowing, to always have candles there, and I just could not do it with everything else I had going on. And then I was never able to send in a Walmart shipment. So I was fulfilling Walmart orders, but they were just people who would order either, like one candle here and there. But my goal was to do like how I do with Amazon, to send shipments. And I just, like, by myself, I couldn't do it. And so I do think the candles could have done so much better, but it's okay. I learned a lot, and I was able to think about, during my break in December, I was able to think a lot about strategies going forward. So now that I've hired Sierra, that was one of the reasons I hired her, because I was like, dude, I cannot do all this stuff. Like, what am I doing? I'm launching a course. I'm, doing YouTube videos. I'm creating a brand, a handmade brand, and I'm trying to do all this by myself. It's like impossible. So obviously, when you're trying to do everything by yourself, you're going to eventually plateau, and you're not going to be able to excel and grow your business. And that's exactly what I was going through. So I was like, I got to hire somebody. So I hired her to work in the studio, and it feels comfortable because of all the different revenue streams. I'm not like, oh, how am I going to pay her? Or if we don't get sales this month, like her stuff is paid. Like, I don't have, even if it's like a slow month, it's paid. And also taking advantage of things like the PPP loan. So during the CARES Act, this whole stimulus check thing, they also have money set aside for businesses. And a lot of my students weren't aware of this either. So I'm telling you guys, if you are a small business, it doesn't matter what you do. If you, are a small business and you pay your taxes and all that, you can apply for the PPP loan, and it's a forgivable loan. We got some money the first round, and then the second round I got approved again, and it's forgivable. So as long as you're using it for 60% of it for payroll, you can get the loan forgiven. You don't ever have to pay it back. So I plan on just using all of the money for payroll for her, and then plus all the other money I have from Candle Biz Academy, all the other revenue streams. So it makes it so comfortable, because now we can grow the business. And then of course by next year, hopefully we have all of our strategies in place where we have everything flowing. Amazon's flowing, Walmart's flowing, and hopefully getting more wholesale orders. So that's kind of the goal. And you're probably like, okay, Tiana, you told us you made 6 figures or whatever. So how much? Let me actually add this up, you guys, because with everything added up, it's $101,000, 800. Wait, what? So with everything added up, it's $101,849, which is what in revenue that I brought into my business. And you're probably wondering, how much do I pay myself? I think I used about, for personal use, $10,000, but then I paid for computers and stuff. But personal use that I paid myself out of the business, $10,000 for 2020, and I recently just put another $10,000 into my account. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it there or what I'm going to use it for. We are in the market to buy a house, so maybe that can help with that, but I'm just keeping it there for now. So possibly $20,000. But this is another lesson that I have, and I actually heard this the other day, and I heard someone say, I was watching another YouTuber who's built like multiple streams of income, but he talked about not spending your first dollar. And what that means is once you start making money, if you automatically just start spending it, you're never going to have enough money to advance to the next, goal in your business. So that's why I worked part-time for 4 years. And that's why I don't spend that much money on my business, because this is what I enjoy doing. I really don't care too much about the money part, and the money for me is a tool to advance the business. Eventually, I do want to employ more people. I want to pay fairly. I want to have a fun place to work. I want to, create, I have other ideas that I want to do too. So I need money to do that, obviously. So I don't take much money out, and just mind you, this is another thing. If you go to my website, in the recommended reading section, I actually have a book there called Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And this is a book that I read in my mid-20s before I started my business. And I would recommend to get your personal finances together before you start a business if you're kind of looking to, do the business thing, because having my personal finance together beforehand was very helpful, because we don't have car payments and we are a 2-person household. So, and our cost of living is very low. So we both have cars, no car payments. And I do have a brother-in-law that lives in our house too. So we all live together. So it's my husband, my son, and then my brother-in-law has his own part of the house and he pays utilities. So our cost of living is very low, and that's how we've lived for like 7 or so years. So there's not a whole bunch of expenses there. And that's another reason I don't really need to take money out of my business, because when I was younger, I had no concept. In my early 20s, I had no concept of money. I would spend, if I saw money in my account, I would spend it. I'd be like, oh, $200. What can I do with? That's how my mindset. What can I do with $200? So, but now I'm like, I just keep the money there and I will use it. I'm strategic about what I use my money for now. So the Total Money Makeover is an amazing book to get you started with business finances. Now, Dave Ramsey does talk about some things about credit cards and stuff that I don't totally agree with now, because I do use credit cards as a tool. Once you start to, build income, and when you can pay your credit cards off before interest builds up and all that, you can actually use credit cards as a tool to help build your credit, to help build your business credit, personal credit, to get points, rewards. So I love credit cards just for that reason. But yeah, getting the personal finances together is a thing to do. But I think, so I just plan on keeping the money, and then, keeping the money around so I can grow my business, you guys, hiring more people in the future, and just seeing where this all goes. So that is kind of, the breakdown. I knew this is long. It's like 30 minutes, but that's kind of the breakdown of the strategies behind, all of the different revenue streams. And I had fun just like telling you guys, because I've never talked about this before. So hopefully it was helpful. And man, I just cannot wait to see what 2021 has to offer for candles and all of the other stuff I have going on. But thank you guys, and until next time, bye everyone.